If you are like me and are overwhelmed by all of the eyeshadow quads, quints, palettes, and otherwise that are coming out this time of year, you are not alone. I have purchased most of the new eyeshadow releases in at least one of the shades offered. I mean, let's be honest, we probably all have these colors multiple times over in our collections, but in some cases there is a special formula, a special selection of shades, something that makes these stand out amongst all of the rest. I'm going to talk about which eyeshadow palettes I think might be worth adding to your collection, especially if they're limited editions, and which ones I think you can probably safely skip. So let's get into the video. I have got 19 new fall holiday eyeshadow releases. Some of these were released as part of the fall collections, and some of them are considered holiday. They're all newer releases on the market, and I want to tell you which ones I think might be worth the investment. So I'm going to start with a couple that I think maybe are, for me, would be easy skips. Like if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have purchased these. The number one on that list is going to be the Hermes Optiques eyeshadow palette. I know that a lot of people love this palette. It got pretty good reviews as far as I could see, like in the realm of YouTube. I had a different experience with this palette, and I do have a video that I filmed. I don't know if it's out yet. I am going to put it up, even though this is kind of old news, just so you can see how it performs for me. First of all, I think that the color selection here is beautiful. Although it is a regret for me, I absolutely love the look that I get when I wear this eyeshadow palette, and I get so many compliments on it. So why then, if that's the case, why am I disappointed? And the reason is just going to be the quality of the eyeshadows. Now, this is $121. It is plastic. It is refillable. You can pop out the pan and refill it with another color story after you use this one up. So I do appreciate that. So here are the 4 shades in this palette. And as you can see, they're really pretty. My problem with this palette is really this shade right here. It's this soft, muted, gray blue, almost periwinkle type shade. It's a gorgeous shade. Like the actual tone of it is so pretty, and really one of the main things that I was interested in when it came to purchasing this palette. However, it just doesn't perform, this shade. I mean, you can build it up. It's just that for the price, I expected a little bit more from these shades. This purple right here is really pretty, but it's also very softly pigmented. And then this shade down here, this champagne gold shade, is beautiful. It's a beautiful formula. The turquoise matte really is intense. It works very well. It's just that you only get 4 shades, and one of them, in my opinion, is just kind of a flop. For $121, I think I could have made a better purchase. Maybe I got a dud. Maybe it's just my palette and everybody else's seems to work much better. And then next on the list, another one that I wish I had skipped is going to be the Hourglass Curator eyeshadow palettes. This is a release that I think was talked about for all of 5 minutes, and then I don't hear anybody talking about it anymore. Probably because the shades were all very neutral, nothing really exceptional about them. This is the Expressionist. This is the all shimmer. So here's my issue with these. First of all, the packaging, I'm just not a fan. It's metal. It's okay. It's a magnet closure. It's recyclable. You can pop out the mirror here and recycle the palette, but it's not refillable. I actually really like these shades, and I'm happy with my eye look whenever I use them. Here are those shades. So it's got like this deep smoky brown, and then it has like a pinky, almost like a rose gold, but more gold than rose. And then it has this light, cool champagne, and then this golden bronzy brown. Really beautiful shades. The formulas work really well. It's just kind of boring. It's just kind of a meh release, you know. They're solid eyeshadow formulas. If I could go back, I wouldn't have purchased these. And this is something that I am just super not thrilled about for me personally, and my coloring and what I like to wear, and that is going to be the Guerlain Emerald Feather. The formulas are really good. So this is kind of low at the bottom of my list, and this is a regret for me just because of the color story. However, the formula is excellent. It's just not my favorite color story. Next up is going to be the Tom Ford Chalet Mink. Now, I love this. I think it is beautiful. I get a lot of compliments when I wear this. I got a lot of compliments when I demoed it in a video, and they're beautiful shades. The formulas on this are so good. They're so like creamy, melty, smooth, easy to blend eyeshadows. The only reason why this is not like tippy top of the list is because it's pretty one note. I mean, you could do a matte look or you can pop some shimmer on it, but outside of that, there's just not much that you can do, and you do only get one shimmer. It's a beautiful shimmer. All of these that I'm talking about, I have a video where I use them, so I'll try to pop them in the card so you can see them. This is the look that you get, and it's just not very versatile. So you have to like these tones in order to like this palette. So while I love it, I don't know that it's like a must purchase for everybody. Everybody probably has those kind of colors, and you're probably familiar with the Tom Ford formula. And if you like Tom Ford, you probably have similar color story in your collection. So while I like that, it's not like my tippy top recommendation. Okay, next is going to be the Dior Miss Dior eyeshadow release. Now, I only purchased one of the quints from that collection. I picked up Bold Black because this looked the most interesting to me, and it is interesting. Like, I stand by that. And I think that this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I think it is incredibly versatile, despite the fact that most of these tones are quite light, but you have that black in the middle that really takes this from, you know, this light, like spring, summer eyeshadow palette to like smoky eye. Even though this looks like a pretty standard eyeshadow palette, I think it's incredibly versatile. And I think that you have a variety of textures in there. I didn't swatch the black, but it's a very pigmented, very beautiful black. I think it's super fun to play with. I love it. The reason why it is ranked here in this video, because of the fact that it is $11 more, because it comes with a case that says Miss Dior. I wish that they had done something special to the actual packaging to make it feel like it's worth that price increase, but it's literally just a case. I mean, it was just a case that you're paying for. However, I really like that color story a lot. I think it's a beautiful color story. Next is the YSL Couture Mini Clutch. I have the shade Captivating Dunes. This is such a beautiful little quad. They are so smooth, except this one. These are the two mattes, and then you have this beautiful metallic, and then this is like the flaky topper shade. I'm torn on this one because I absolutely love the look that I get with this using 3 of the shades. It gives you the most beautiful, simple, wearable, but still like elevated look. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of a similar situation to the Hermes in that you only have 4 shades. Now, this is half the price of the Hermes. That's why I have this one higher. While you do only have 3 eyeshadows, it wasn't $121. I'm okay with it because the other 3 are so gorgeous, but I just don't like this formula. They keep putting out these quads with that flaky topper formula that I am just not a fan of in any eyeshadow palette. Every eyeshadow palette that I have tried from YSL has that topper shade. For me, I get 3 usable shades, and the other one is one that I'm just never going to tap into. That's just a me thing though. If you like that formula, then I think that these are an excellent value. I think that this is one of the lowest priced palettes in this lineup. So from here on out are eyeshadows that I absolutely love. Next up is going to be the Dior Plum Parade eyeshadow palette. This is the holiday eyeshadow palette. I didn't get the warm color story, the reds and the browns, because I have a lot of eyeshadows that are in that color story, but I don't have a lot of cool purples. Now it does have one of the white shade is like that topper shade that I'm not a super fan of. It's better than the YSL, but still something that I'm not really going to dip into. However, I'm okay with it because I like all of the other shades so much. They're soft, they're blendable, they're easy to work with. This shade right here, this purple in the center, has this gorgeous sheen to it. It almost has like a blue shift. They're really pretty. I really like the look that I get when I wear this, or the looks that I get. And it is a quint, so you have quite a bit of versatility. And every single shade in this, except the flaky white shade, is an excellent performing shade. Very pigmented and on my brown eyes, very wearable. So I do really like this. Not a huge fan of the gold packaging. And then next we're going to talk about the Guerlain Holiday Palette. I have only worn this a couple of times, but I just think it's so incredibly easy to wear. Like the color story is holiday, but also more. Right? Like this is a color story and it's only 4 shades, but every one of them is wearable. I don't have any complaints about any of the shades in here. I like all of them. All 4 of them are beautiful. All 4 of them perform and all 4 of them combine to give you a beautiful soft glam look that is appropriate for the holidays or not. I do have a video using that one. I will try to link it in the cards as well as all of these, so hopefully I remember to do that. Next, we're going to talk about these 9-pan eyeshadow palettes from Chanel. I think that this is such a fun release from Chanel. I mean, look at these colors. They're so beautiful and you get so many different textures in here. This one has a lot of mattes here. 6 mattes in here. This purple, this white, and this neon yellow are shimmers. This is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. This is called the New Singular. It's so pretty. You can do so much with this eyeshadow palette. Like you can create so many looks here. You've got these warm tones, you've got these greens that you can mix with the brown, which I've done. So I've got green, purple, or I've got almost every shade in here except the black on my eyes today. I really have a lot of fun with this one. The thing that I will say about this palette is this shade right here. It's almost like one of those topper shades. It has a little bit more to it than the YSL, but it's still that dry topper type shade that is just not my favorite formula to work with. However, there are 9 shades in there, so when one of them doesn't work, I'm not as disappointed as I would be if it were a quad, because I still have 8 others that I love. So I love that palette. It's so unique for Chanel, especially the color story, in my opinion. This one is the Space Traveler. They have 3. I only got 2 of them. And I love this one. That's the white. It shifts really, really blue. And then it has this beautiful, like lilac-y shade, this gold shade right here that has like a green shift and an orange shift. They're so fun. Like this is such a unique release from Chanel, in my opinion. And then it has this navy shimmer. This one only has 3 mattes. It has like this peachy brown, this warm brown, and then a black. But you can mix and match and combine these shades and create so many eye looks. I think that these are excellent. Those 9-pan palettes are one of my favorite releases from Chanel for the entire year. I just think they're so much fun. Next up is going to be the Givenchy 9-pan holiday palette. This is such a useful, wearable, beautiful eyeshadow palette. I love the formulas here. They're so nice. Look at the shine on those. They're so shiny, so smooth, sophisticated, and it has this gorgeous mustardy color. It doesn't look like much in the pan. It's not a shade that you look at and you're like, oh, that's so beautiful, but you put it on the eyes and it just does something magical. That palette is probably, out of all of these palettes, the best value for what you get. It's priced well. You get 9 shades. They're beautiful shades. This, again, is a palette just like the Guerlain that can take you into holiday and beyond. Holiday, but it's so much more than that. This is a beautiful everyday neutral palette, but you can also get some gorgeous blingy holiday looks from it. So I absolutely love this one. Next is going to be the Chanel Boutons collection. And I'm not going to show all of these because I do have videos using, I think, all of them. Let's touch on this one. This is the Couture palette. It's like your basic boring neutral browns. They are so wearable and beautiful. Like this shade right here is the one that sold me on this palette in the store, because when I went in, I wasn't planning on getting this one. I had no interest in this, seeing it online, but when I saw it in person and swatched this shade, I was like, oh my gosh. Now, I don't even know if you can get it anywhere anymore. If I can find it, I will link it below. This is the Baroque palette. Gorgeous. It's just so pretty. Like, I think I compared this to the Hermes palette at some point, and I just think that this palette performs so much better than the Hermes palette. That's just my opinion. Like, if you're interested in something with purple and gold, I would go with Baroque over the Hermes. And then this one is probably my favorite. This is Stellaire. I love this color combination, and it doesn't look like much. Like, they're all very light tones, but it just creates this beautiful, ethereal, classic look on the eyes that I absolutely adore. This is probably my most worn out of all of those. I love it. I think that release from Chanel was a beautiful release, and I think if you can find those palettes, I don't think that you would be disappointed in them if you like Chanel eyeshadows. The one thing that I will say is the price increase on those. They did the same thing with these that they did the Dior, the Miss Dior launch, where they charged you extra for the pouch. Like, these each had their own custom pouch, and because of that, these were $86, so you paid $10 for the pouch. I don't like that. I could see paying $10 extra for packaging, like if there was something actually on the packaging that made it look different, but these are your standard Chanel and Dior packages. You just paid for the pouch. I do love the formulas in those eyeshadows, and I love the color curations. I think that the color stories in those are beautiful. And I also have to touch on Nuit Astrale by Chanel. This one is probably my favorite of the Chanel quads that were released, just because I love these formulas in this color story. This is a color story that really enhances my brown eyes. Like, there is something about the blues and purples in here that just make them pop. This gray is a matte. This is a shimmer. This shade up top is a metallic, and it is a very shiny metallic. Like, that shade alone makes this entire palette worth it to me. I cannot say enough how much I love that shade right there. It's stunning. And then this shade is also a metallic, but it is more loosely packed. I don't want to say it's like the topper shades in the YSL or any of these other palettes that I've mentioned, but it's along those lines. It's more sheer than the other shades, and it's just got a bit of green to it that really kind of contrasts against those other three shades. Every time I wear that palette, I get compliments and I feel super confident in the eye look. I have a video where I wear this look, but I put this in the crease, I put this on the outer corner, this all over the lid, this on the inner corner, and maybe tapped on top of the lid. It's only 4 shades, but I love every one of the 4 shades, and it's 4 different textures. It's one of my favorites. I have to touch on the Sisley quad, and what is so special about this one is not necessarily the colors, because these are colors that probably everybody has. It's just your basic brown, but they're done so well. And I think of what an incredibly expensive, luxurious eyeshadow formula should be. This is it. Creamy, blendable, easy to wear, beautiful colors. They don't enhance any texture on mature lids. And it is just your basic browns. I can see where this would not be like a very exciting purchase. It's a solid eyeshadow formula. This is the one that I was probably most excited about out of all of these. That is going to be the Clé de Peau Holiday Eyeshadow Palette. Like, just look at the packaging. The award for best packaging 100% goes to Clé de Peau Quad. I think it is so beautiful. This is something that I will treasure and continue to refill with other eyeshadows, even if I make it through this one, because I just think it's so pretty. And then let's talk about the actual shadows in here. Like, you can see my train is faded, but it did have this beautiful imprint of a train and an overspray of a gold magical train that I think was really, really pretty. The actual eyeshadows in here are so good. These formulas, like on my mature lids, are so beautiful. So this pink right here is considered a primer, and it does a really good job priming. Like, it does feel like a cream. When you put it on your lids, it just kind of glides on, and it does make everything go on just a little more intense, in my opinion. It makes a beautiful, like, soft glam eye, and this shade of purple just looks really, really nice on brown eyes. I feel like it would look nice on most eye colors. This certain shade of purple just really does a lot to bring out my eyes. It's one of my favorite releases. They look beautiful. They last all day. It's a beautiful eyeshadow formula. And then the last two are going to be the big palettes. These are the only large palettes that I have purchased this year, and I love both of them. All of this is not necessarily in like a direct order, but kind of more a general order. And the one that I have to talk about next is going to be Bibliophilia by Byredo. This is just an exceptional eyeshadow palette, an exceptional eyeshadow formula. Every single shade in this palette performs. Every single shade in here is so creamy, so blendable, so smooth. Even if I don't particularly love the color, there is no denying that they are quality eyeshadows. And to be clear, I love the color in almost all of these. That orangey copper shade in general is not my favorite shade. Look at that white. I just want to show you an example of what you get here and why this is top of the list. I mean, look at these shades. They're so creamy and so smooth, and they translate that way on the eyes. They've got so much impact. You have so much versatility in here. You could do an entire look without touching any of these warm tones, or you can do a gorgeous warm tone smoky eye. I feel like it is the most versatile of everything that I have talked about. These sell out quickly. I 100% think that that is worth the purchase price. Like, I really do. This palette is less than this palette. We have to talk about the Lightwork Volume 7 palette. Now, I don't necessarily think this is a palette for everyone, because although it has a lot of wearable shades, there are a lot of shades in here that some people might not consider wearable. I realize this is not going to be for everyone, but this has some of the most unbelievable textures that I have ever seen in eyeshadows. They are just wild. I don't know if this shade right here, like I'm looking in my monitor to see, I don't know if you can fully see how smooth and mirrored that shade is. And then some of them are like chunky, but also incredibly smooth on the lids. It's just wild to me how these textures exist, because some of them just look and feel like melted metal. They're just these oil slicky, color shifting, incredible colors. The name Lightwork is 100% fitting, because in different light, you see different colors. Different angles are going to give you a completely different color. When you think of a multi-chrome, this is what I envision. And she does it in such a beautiful and, in my opinion, wearable way. I know that these are not considered wearable to everybody. To me, these are pretty wearable shades. None of them are super out there. This blue right here is so dense. Look at that. Like, it almost feels like a cream. Can you see that? I mean, can you? Of course you can. That's just me swatching in there one time. I tried to use this shade on my lid, and it just kept going and going and going. It was just too much. I couldn't blend it out. I couldn't soften it up, because it's like I said, almost like a cream. It just keeps going and going and going. This is not going to be for everyone, but if you like texture and you like playing and you like experimenting with eyeshadows, and you're not afraid of a whole eye look, it's a look when you wear this palette, then you're going to love this. When you consider the price of this compared to everything else that we have talked about, it's, in my opinion, so worth it. It's so worth it. I wanted to come on camera and do a blue eye look and show you guys how that would look on my brown eyes, because I absolutely love blue on my brown eyes. I'm still trying to figure out how to work with some of these, because they are a lot. These that have all the texture on them, like this one, they do feel like creams to me. I mean, I don't know if they're creams, but this feels wet to me. It feels like a cream eyeshadow. They're very dense, very pigmented. I haven't quite figured out how to blend them out and how to work with them. I need to go educate myself, watch Tanessa Myrick's use some of these so that I can learn how best to work with these. To me, it's worth it. It's worth the learning curve, because they're so incredibly gorgeous. They kind of almost feel flaky in the pan, but you blend them out and they just like kind of melt into what I think feels like a cream. Some of them you can tell are just really creamy powders. I mean, they're gorgeous. I can get a lot of wearable eye looks out of this that aren't like too over the top, even in the purple section. Like the purples to me are very wearable. It's the blues that I haven't quite mastered, but I will. Look at my finger. It looks like it has been painted gold. Like it looks wet with metallic paint. But that is just an eyeshadow. Like that is crazy to me. Okay, so I'm covered in eyeshadow, obviously. Let me know if you have any of these eyeshadows and what you think of them. To be clear, I think that they're all good. I feel like they're all different. They're all unique. They all have their own special quirks and positives and negatives. There are all kinds of things that we look into when we make a purchasing decision. And the things that are important to me may not be important to you, but if they are, if you tend to value the same things that I do, then you might agree with me on some of these. If not, then you likely won't. There is something here for everyone. This was just something that I wanted to do since I had all of them. I wanted to kind of round them up and talk about them all in one video. Let me know which ones are your favorites, which ones you might be picking up this holiday season, and which ones you're going to skip. I would love to hear from you. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I am coming up on my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and I would love to have you here. So please subscribe, like the video if you liked it. I will see you soon in another one. And until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.